Yeah, in the early 90s. Okay. You woke up in a cave, or some facsimile of one, a wind tunnel, more like, where you had spent the night not so restful, and ventured out once again in the morning into the snows, exploring the Kurthus Western Highlands, questioning your life's decisions as you did so. And you made a lot of discoveries. You traversed around the area, you saw the lay of the land, you saw catacombs hidden underneath piles of snow that you almost fell into. You found what appeared to be a battlefield with dead dragons, dead humanoids. You saw a dragon seemingly turned to stone with arrows and spears sticking out of it. You saw a dragon shadowed creature flying overhead in the direction that you were headed. Lots of things going on here, including a big behemoth of a beast fighting a great ape gorilla. Okay.
I totally missed Dustin's message where he said he wasn't going to be on tonight, so I tagged him like 3 different times.
Okay. With that said, you hightailed it away from the fighting beasts in the direction of the Dusk Vigil, something that you had heard of from the Garleans in the Dravanian Forelands. They mentioned it, and it's something that Sherbin had seen in passing. It's a very large, rather impressive-looking fortress, which seems relatively unperturbed from the outside. However, when you got close enough to cross a bridge leading there, you found that the bridge, for the most part, was destroyed and out, but you were able to slide across the lake of ice and arrive in front of the Dusk Vigil. And through a mixture of ingenuity, magic, and some time and engineering, you were able to lower the drawbridge and thankfully not have it come slamming down due to the strength of Omega and Kevin. You went inside, raised the bridge, closed it, and locked it with the linchpins. And that's where we left off. You are in the pre-antechamber of the entrance to the Dusk Vigil. And I think, did I send images of what it looks like, what you're looking at?
I feel like you did.
Well,
Yeah, I think so.
I think I sent you some beginning images, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got that.
Okay. So you are inside of the... Oh, wait. Let me get the music on. Are you guys able to hear the music through the microphone?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good. Hi, John.
Hi. Made
Hola.
perfect timing.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So, you're looking around the room. It's generally where you are is a relatively wide, open chamber. You see ice crusted over on the furniture that's here, the fixtures. There are some wooden benches, some of which have been upturned. Most of them are completely covered in ice or warped to the point where it's probably unsafe to sit on them. You don't see much in the way of a light source. All of the light that you got is streaming in from the crenellations, and given that it wasn't very light outside to begin with, it's pretty dark in here. You can see around yourself, but not very far, and not with much definition. You have dark vision.
Yes.
Nobody else does.
Correct.
Okay. You could see around. It's more or less what I just described. You see only moderately better than the rest of them because there is some light. But you see mostly in grayscale, and you can see a little bit further out, and it looks like there's no door here, but there is a hallway that seems to stretch on for a little while, going deeper into the Dusk Vigil.
Does there look to be any signs of... Or it's still below freezing, but not as below freezing?
In here, you don't have wind chill, and the temperature, you have... it's not insulated. What's the word I'm looking for? It's retaining heat better than outside would.
So what we provide the heat, right? But stuff, like you said, there's ice still in it.
Oh, there's still ice in it, yeah.
Does it look like there's any sign of an interior struggle? And based on the...
Where you are currently?
Yeah. Like dead bodies or shattered things that look like they were broken from combat as opposed to degradation?
No, not that you can see in here.
Cool.
Everything that's right here, with an exception. When you look at the drawbridge, which has been raised now, you see what appear to be claw marks on it. But where the claw marks came is not entirely, it's not immediately obvious.
And the claw marks are now, would be the inside drawbridge?
So,
or what we would have walked across?
It's what you would have walked across, which is the inside of the drawbridge.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible that this was from something like shoes or dragging something across it at some point. But you asked for things that looked weird.
People can take their shoes off inside, scuffed up the carpet.
Based on the claw marks, how big would this creature be?
That's what I pictured.
Say it again?
Based on the claw marks, how big was the creature that made them?
It appeared humanoid size marks, I guess.
So not like behemoth size?
No.
Or,
They don't seem particularly deep.
Gotcha. So not like the dragons either that we saw flying overhead, or the dead bodies.
No, that's unlikely.
Cool.
What's the plan, guys?
Note.
Millie,
What did I say?
Millie, darling, could you please come over here for a second? Could I just borrow your bucket for a moment? I'll give it right back, I promise.
She'll look at Sherbin quizzically, but
I don't even need to take it.
Mr. Bucket, okay.
Okay.
Oh, we need to switch Wi-Fi's or hotspots.
Which one are you on?
I think it's still on hot. Whatever there's always one that it connects to automatically. Ouch, hot.
No, go to the other one.
Okay, 1 sec, guys.
The other one is out of 5 for the month until the 22nd. So.
Yeah, because I noticed that their faces kept freezing. Okay, we're on the new network now. That should be better. Yeah, so Millie brings herself and the bucket hat over to Sherbin.
Can I cast the light cantrip on the bucket?
Sure. The light settles within the bucket, and you can hold the bucket like on its side, and it's a makeshift flashlight.
Well, she said I didn't have to take it off, so I think it's light on.
I thought you said you handed it to her.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I offered that you didn't have to take it off or
Which is
anything,
it?
but
You handed it to her or not?
I would, yeah. If she said, "Can I see the bucket?" she would have handed it or offered it.
When you take it off of your head, you realize that the metal of the bucket was very cold, and wearing it probably wasn't helping too much.
She's got a lot of hair, so it wasn't touching any skin. But
All right.
yeah, and when you were describing the scene where the hallway that Millie can see continues,
Bob, come here.
it continues beyond
Come
the 120 feet of her dark vision.
here. Yeah, it's more than 120 feet. Hey, buddy.
Okay. So after getting the light shiny bucket, Millie will write that for everybody and gesture towards the end of the hallway.
There's only one hallway leading out, not two?
No.
I may have misheard.
So, just to describe the room once more, right here is drawbridge. Okay, this is what you raised up. You're in this room. It's like the drawbridge control room, more or less. It's an antechamber. And there is a hallway that's leading directly from this room straight in that direction, if that made sense. Okay.
You think that this might be a good spot for us to hunker down, get some rest if we can?
Doesn't look like there's any offshoots, like side rooms from where we're at.
From where you are, you don't see any. That doesn't mean they aren't there.
Gotcha.
Anyone know what time it is? I can't really tell with everything that's been going on. Also, are we not going to talk about that big ape-looking creature and the dinosaur? I don't think that's normal. Sherwin, is that something you see very often around these parts?
Would Sherwin know about behemoths or sherbet?
You've heard it.
Production is complete.
Behemoths are more like they're not so much an urban legend, but there's something that it's relatively rare. You don't see them often. They are known to inhabit this area, but there are never more than a few of them in existence at a time. They're a very slow mating, gestating species, and they take a while to grow to a size that is dangerous, or much less like that one. Takes many, many years, decades to do so. In terms of you knowing about them being around, just having been from or spent time in this area, that's what you would have heard about them. You never would have seen one yourself.
That's a very good question, Kevin. I think from what I've heard and from what I could see, it sounds like we might have seen a behemoth. They're very, very rare.
That doesn't sound normal whatsoever. Rare.
Well,
I mean,
it's
how do they
rare.
get that big? What are they eating around here to grow that large?
Well, it looks like
I would imagine
gorillas.
those apes, yeah.
Primary diet is giant monkeys.
What you're saying to me is they are rare, so we won't see like too many more of them if we're walking around this
No.
area.
No, absolutely not. We're very lucky to have seen one, let alone two or more. If we saw more than one, I'd be very, very concerned.
Your definition of lucky is very strange.
I mean, see, I was gonna say the exact same thing. I mean,
We were very lucky. It was going after the gorilla, not us.
I guess so. But you think this castle here is strong enough to stop any of those creatures from getting in?
Well, judging by these claw marks, it might have stopped something from coming out of the castle.
Hey, guess
We can try to find a smaller room and a better place to defend from, but
I think we should explore right now, right? Let's set up a really quick base camp and send our sneakiest, most stealthy businessmen to go explore the area.
Send in the bureaucrats.
I mean, does that sound like a good plan?
That sounds fine with me.
I
Like,
don't think they should go far if they do.
no.
Oh, I agree. Not too deep, places where they can easily escape. But I don't know who's the best at sneaking around. Millie. That would be perfect. But although I still think
Millie, who do you think should go looking?
who do you think should go with you? Is exactly what I was thinking. I don't think you should be going alone. You should go at least in parties of two, groups of two, in case something happens and you need to send help.
Real quick, do I need to be near Millie in order for the bucket to still stay lit up?
No, I'm pretty sure once you cast it, it just lasts for like an hour or something.
Well, I never asked you, Millie. How do you see so good in the dark? I mean, you seem to be navigating around quite fine. I don't know how you do that.
Mr. Bucket.
That was gonna be my travel companion to go looking.
Did you hand back the bucket or you just set it down? Just curious.
She just held it up, and I just cast it on the bucket.
What'd you do with it after that?
I assume Millie's still holding it.
I never took it. Yeah, Millie should still be holding it.
Holding it by the handle.
Okay.
So, because if the light's emanating from the interior of the bucket, it wouldn't do any good on my head.
Correct.
I can go with Millie if you guys want.
That's what she says to Kevin.
I'm not sure what that's supposed to read, but
I
Just
can
stare at
go.
him with like really big eyes so he can see the vertical.
oh, your
pupils.
eyes.
I
Okay.
can't see as well as Millie, but I'm pretty stealthy.
Well, then, yeah, Fifi. I think you two would make a good team. If you both go and take a look, but I really don't want you getting injured. So if either of you see something, or you get a feeling like you shouldn't be going somewhere, you come back right now. You hear?
We'll be sure to bring all the scary stuff to you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to fight them, but preferably just try to avoid any scary stuff being brought around. Maybe you shouldn't take this bucket with you. I might just draw in people. It's other scary things, and I go to grab the bucket from Millie.
She'll let him hold it. That
Okay.
makes sense. She doesn't want to be lit up if she's being sneaky.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a message.
I just hope that Kevin hasn't been eating any more trail mix with that bucket.
No. I gave Sid the trail mix. He was gonna get out to some people. If you're still hungry, I'm sure Sid still has it.
Well,
Oh, did I give Sid it to you, or did you take it? No, Sid took it and then buried it, and burned it.
I must have dropped it on the way. Unfortunately, we have plenty of food. We'll be all right.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, next time we go back to that city with whatever it's called, we'll definitely pick up some more of that trail mix. It was quite good.
Before Fifi and Millie leave, Sid will raise his hands over both of their heads and cast Bless on both of them.
That's the D4 on skill checks and attack rolls, or
Attack roll and saving throw.
that's the one.
Okay.
You see,
once
Kevin
we're
kinda like-
about to leave, Fifi will cast invisibility on herself.
You see Kevin kind of like hit the bucket out towards a wall, like that's all you see. You see him kind of like throw the bucket at the wall, but he's still holding the bucket.
Wait, so, like,
Careful,
you slid
Kevin!
the
Don't kick the bucket.
I wasn't kicking it. I swear I felt like this thing was moving for a second, but I swear I don't know. I'm just going crazy. I thought something might be in it, like you caught a fish or something, but everything seems fine now.
Okay, I just don't want you to kick the buckets. At least not yet.
Well, that's quite kind of you. I mean, I think my foot's strong enough to kick the bucket and still be okay though, Miller. Fifi.
Pretty sure most of the time you only get to kick it once.
You know, I remember DX and I used to play kick the bucket back when we were young. We'd be kicking the bucket all over the place.
That's pretty
Millie's
weird.
gonna hold up this sign for Kevin.
oh no.
I see Bob. Something about Bob. Yes, it does. Amen. Bob does bless you upon your path of righteousness down this scary hall. May he bring you back and return you free of sin.
Real quick, are you not able to read the chalkboard, or are you playing a character?
No, I can read it for sure. I'm just playing in character.
I'm just checking.
Oh.
Go ahead.
What? Bob's just
I'm just gonna set the bucket down. It's lit, but I'm just gonna set it down because why would Kevin continue to hold it?
Okay.
I'll pick it back up if the group moves.
Are you next to Kevin?
No, I would have started walking off towards the edge of the light that the bucket gives.
I'm by DX, if anything.
You hear a dull metal clanging sound. And when you turn to the source of it, you see the bucket that Kevin just sat down is hopping along until it gets right next to you and just stops.
It's a mimic.
Millie's gonna look at. Does it still have the same dented facial expression?
Yes.
She'll pick up the bucket. She'll give it a hug, and then put it down and make the stay motion.
Okay.
Millie, I think you have an indented servant.
10 out of 10. I'm writing that on my character sheet next to the bucket.
It's really hard to figure out where that rates on the level of weirdness that we've seen thus far.
Did you move away after you did the stay motion?
Not yet. I'm waiting for Lanfifi. Well, actually, I have no idea where Lanfifi is, but I'm waiting for Lanfifi to give some indication that she's ready to go.
Ready when you are.
And then she'll try to move away.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
So pick up the bucket, go towards the interior turn thing for the drawbridge, and then use a chunk of silk rope to make a leash and tie it to that the handle.
Oh no, you're crate training it like a puppy.
And she'll, because she's got no idea what it wants, she'll put some dried meat in the bucket. Just cause.
Okay, so you tie the bucket up to one of the levers and
yeah, the turning part.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the word for it. I still can't remember. I can't figure out what the word is
It's like
supposed to be.
a turnstile, but not.
Yeah.
I think there's a word for it.
Regardless, don't. You tie the bucket via silk
Silk rope.
rope. I was going to say thread. I'm like, that's not right. Silk rope.
100 feet of silk thread. It's useless.
It just floats
It might
away.
hold up one feet.
And you put the little bit of beef jerky you said inside the bucket. Okay. You walk away. It tries to hop after you, and then it realizes that it can't move past the rope, and it just stops.
Now I know we've seen some crazy monsters, some bee holders and stuff, but are we just gonna ignore what just happened with that bucket? I mean, you all saw that, right? The bucket was moving by itself.
I mean, it's not violent.
It's still moving. I think it really likes Millie.
All right. I just want to know where we're at as a group with this insanity that's going on. I'm okay with it as well. I just wanted to generally get a check in.
We're just gonna chalk that up to a feature.
Not a bug. Got it.
Okay. And then that Millie will proceed to start sneaking down the hallway, assuming Lanfifi is adjacent.
Okay, and you're trying to sneak, so you're trying to stealthy about it? Okay. The two of you are exhausted. So, Lanfifi, if you're trying to sneak also, roll a stealth check, please.
Do I add something since I'm invisible?
You'd normally get advantage, so cancel.
Yeah, I would cancel out the disadvantage. That's fine with me.
Is the other bottle?
No, I'll give it
I got it.
Right, you got it.
A multi-tool in my wallet.
We're sponsored by Monster Energy, guys.
Okay, disadvantage stuff.
This looks like a good tool to cut myself with.
It is. Natural 20, but disadvantage, so.
Alright,
And then a total of.
I told you guys last session that you filled up one limit break bar,
Yes.
right? Okay.
And then 16 total on the stealth roll.
24.
Damn.
Okay.
If Millie could tell how stealthy you were, she'd be jealous.
You see small Lalafell-shaped footprints, and there's little bits of frost on the ground around here, and it looks like unpacked snow that's inside of here. So you see these little Lalafell footprints where Lanfifi would be walking alongside you, more or less. You're also very quiet. The two of you are quiet enough that you don't even hear the steps on your steps on the stones. And you're wearing shoes, I believe, right?
Probably snow boots.
But yeah.
I mean, are they open-toed?
No.
Okay, good. What was that?
I said probably snow boots.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh right, yeah, snow boots.
I was gonna say,
not
have you
her
been
normal
trudging
dancers.
through? Have you been trudging through a blizzard wearing sandals? Like,
My bad, I forgot we were in there.
are you Russian?
It's like standard cold weather, heavy boots.
Yeah. Okay. So much junk mail today. Okay.
I got a bunch too.
Yeah, it's just random. It's like from places I've never even heard of. Okay. So, you continue along. And Fifi, you don't immediately... you don't immediately notice anything, but Millie, especially with your dark vision, you start to see there's holes about that big every few fulms in the ceiling around you, and some in the walls.
At a high, the ones in the walls, are they high up or?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Can I see the sky through the ones in the ceiling?
No.
Interesting. How high up the wall is it for the ones in the wall?
About 10 fulms up. And, well, 15 fulms up, and the ceiling is about 20 fulms above you.
Is there anything I could like climb to get a peek in the one in the wall?
Try climbing the wall itself.
I mean, if it's smooth stone versus.
It is smooth stone. It's nice masonry.
Okay. Gosh, if only if I had my grappling hook still. Should have bought me with a tail feather. Nah, she can't climb stone, so.
You don't. Just looking at them, like standing right underneath and looking, you can't really see anything above you.
How's it going?
Howdy.
Hello.
Hello. And yeah, she'll just make a mental note, but. Okay, is that different than the. Was it the crenellations we saw?
Yes, it is different. They are built into the stone. It's not like imperfections, it's built in. But the crenellations that you saw in the drawbridge operation room, those seem to be for a different purpose.
Gotcha. Okay.
In this case, actually being able to see outside.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna look at that. And so at this point now, it is more or less complete darkness that we're in?
Yes. I mean, if you look behind you, you see light.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Oh,
you-
dang, I don't have dark vision.
Nope. Only one who does is Millie.
Um,
I'm drinking one of Adam's beers. It's pretty good.
what was I thinking? Okay. So Millie's about rounding up to 5 feet tall. How tall is Lon Fifi? Like 2'6" or something like that?
It's really short.
Yeah, pretty short. 2'8".
2'8". Okay.
I'm the smallest size Lalafell, my character.
Nice.
If you're gonna go small, go all the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was a game. I think it was Ion, the MMO. You could make a character from 2 feet tall to 10 feet tall.
I changed my chanter to be the smallest possible character. That
It was
Impossible to
their
see.
Character builder was amazing. Anyways, okay. Do I see any furniture in this area?
In the hallway that you're in,
Yeah,
there are some. Yeah, there's like some wooden benches.
wooden benches.
Not much other than that.
Okay.
Some of them seem to have decayed or just given way to time. Others are literally have ice over them. Some of them are more or less fine, and they look to be in generally dry areas, as in you don't see a lot of frost around them.
Okay. So Mill will go over to one of the decent-looking benches and just try to lift it to see how heavy it is.
It's okay. Yeah, you can lift it, but it is solid, sturdy wood. Like, probably about 10 ponzas. 10 ponzas of weight.
Which is a pound?
Pound.
It's pretty light for a bench.
Yeah, it's...
Okay.
I mean, I'm not really sure what kind of bench you're picturing. I'm picturing what you're sitting on.
Oh, this. Okay. Then she's going to. Yeah, because Fifi can't see anything.
Dad said there's some light, didn't you?
So we can see light in the direction we came from, but we are more or less in darkness. Just not cave darkness.
Or Cave Johnson.
So Millie will just lightly clap her hands to make some indication to Lon Fifi that something's up. And
It
then
echoes throughout this area.
fair, like,
Yeah. And then even that sound just kind of echoes through this area.
alright. Then she's going to try to stack up a handful, 5 or so of the good benches if she can find them beneath the weird hole in the wall.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say that you're able to find 5 of them in relatively good shape. Enough to hold you if you're climbing up.
Yeah, and then she's gonna just also climb up on that, and she'll test her weight at each edition. I think she'll have 80 pounds. So
It doesn't break. It doesn't really fall. And you spent enough time around Deus that you understand the principles of engineering enough that you could stack it. Yeah, you're able... I would say that you're able to get high enough that you can...
these are about 1.5 feet. She's 5 feet. She could...
So one of the ones on the wall.
Yeah,
so
the wall one, not the ceiling.
You put your hand in it, and it feels like there's something on the other side, but more stone on the other side. Like it's thin enough that
Well,
you
she
can
wanted to look through it.
I thought you were feeling it. I think you just said you felt it. Did I mishear that?
I thought he was just eyeballing it right now.
My bad.
Yeah, so basically stack them up, climb in, and then peek in the hole to see,
Okay.
because being that she'd be able to see something in there.
It's
Jimmy
very
doesn't want another character with missing fingers.
No, instead he wants missing eyes.
No, that's my shtick.
That's true. That was. All right, you look through the hole, and there's definitely another room on that side. You can't really. Very little definition. Very hard to tell exactly what's in there.
But I can see in open space, I don't see, like, an arrow about to poke my eye out, or
no arrows that are
cobwebs or weird things.
There are cobwebs.
Or, well, yeah, cobwebs. Okay.
And there's more ice, and you also can tell by looking in there that in some points in this room, there probably is some kind of light coming in from the outside.
Gotcha. Okay.
Chris already knows what this is.
No.
Oh, okay.
I got a good buzz going, so.
Already?
Yeah.
I have.
Is that one or two?
I have 2
The second
guesses.
Wow.
Millie would have no
Impressive.
reason to have guesses. Okay. And then she'll make another small clap because she doesn't know where Lon Fifi is, and vice versa, and then continue.
Okay.
I'm just basically on Millie's butt, basically.
Okay. Are you like holding on to her
You're gonna
jacket?
say tail.
I was gonna say holding her tail.
I'm within range to hold it, but I'm not quite holding it.
Okay. So
Then while they're walking, Millie will just be swishing her tail back and forth to lightly just tap into Lon Fifi to make sure she hasn't wandered off.
you're annoyingly getting hit in the face by Millie's tail over and
Not
over.
that high. Oh. No, it is that high.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It is that high.
It's like a real cat. Just...
Yeah. Bob does that sometimes.
And you can see her butthole.
Wearing pants.
Are you though?
I hope so, or that's a lot worse than going through the snow in sandals. Yeah, snow boots and underwear, and that's it. And just
Oh,
you
I
know,
wasn't
like-
picturing underwear either. I was just like you're Donald ducking it.
But yeah, so we continue, and Millie's just looking for the first left or right offshoot.
There isn't one. In fact, where you are now, with your dark vision, you can see there's a door ahead.
Okay, so we are basically in a rectangular room, drawbridge on one side, door on the other side.
Correct. And suddenly the purpose of this room is starting to become clear. This is a separation from the entryway of the drawbridge to the interior of the fort.
Definitely leading to Jimmy's suspicions of what those holes are for. You can look at the door
Murder
and see-
holes.
Murder holes or
Yeah, they
hot
were too high
oil.
for murder holes. That was my first
Hot
thought.
oil on the top,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's gonna look at the door and see does it look barricaded? Does it look locked? It doesn't look trapped.
Okay. Go ahead and do an investigation check.
Damn. 10. No. Yeah, 9.
Okay. You don't see any evidence of traps. In terms of being locked, it looks like there's some frost over the door that might be difficult to open it, but you don't really see a lock there. Yeah, that's about all.
And there's nothing like in front of the door that looks like it was braced up against it on this side.
Not that you can see.
Okay. And based on the hinges, does it open inwards or outwards?
Outwards.
Outwards, towards us. Okay. And are there handles of some kind?
There is a handle on it. No lock or...
Oh, so how big is this door? I'm picturing like a giant fucking door.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Okay.
It's one door that would be about the size of a standard double door.
Gotcha. She'll give it a small tug just to see how sturdy the ice is that's on the top of it.
Okay. Just like that. Like
Yeah, to see like if there's any give or if it looks completely immobile.
there is an infinitesimal amount of give that you feel.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, she does like the 1-inch punch equivalent of a pull and yanks the door off his hinges with her 9 strength.
So, 1-inch pull. That's what I call it when I masturbate.
Nice.
Couldn't help it.
And how far to distance did we travel from the?
It's about 150 feet.
Okay, so no.
Palms.
Millie will tail bop Lon Fifi to figure out where she is, and then just pat her on the head, and then dash back to grab Mr. Bucket, and then dash back with the light so we can actually see what we're doing.
Okay. Do you understand this, Lynn Phoebe? Are you staying at the door?
Eric said he was BRB.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go back to get the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get close, it begins like very slowly jumping up and down, like that far off the ground.
But yeah, I'll untie it and mark down how much.
Millie, what'd you find over there?
And there she goes.
Oh, you think everything's all right?
I realize that she hasn't told anybody.
Good point.
Frossen.
It's a Frossendorn. It's German.
Frostendor. Frostendor. See, a door of frost. I got it. Yeah, I mean, this reading thing's not that hard.
But yeah, then she'll head back with Mr. Bucket lighting the way.
Okay. Is anybody coming with?
Yeah, she doesn't make any indication to stop people from following.
Are you holding the bucket, or are you letting it jump with?
I'm holding the bucket.
Okay.
I figured its jumping is not as fast as my movement.
Okay. Sure. You got a little flashlight and a bucket.
Yeah. So then when we get to the door, she'll gesture to Lon Fifi to firebolt the ice. How invisibility is a minute? I think that's already worn off.
Alright, I'll firebolt
Concentrate
that.
to an hour. Never mind.
Eric, are you back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he wants to fireball it.
I don't have fireball yet.
fireball is at the group.
Yeah, but the extra big one that we had from the other campaign.
Yeah, the diadem. So Millie will just kind of show this in Lon Fifi's general direction.
Alright, I will attempt to melt the ice.
Okay. You're firebolting it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to take more than just one. It's going to take some repeated firebolts, so probably take you a little bit of time. But you are able to more or less melt the ice around it to the point where you're starting to char the edges of the door. Maybe it's a good idea to not do that, or do it.
Do it.
Yeah, at that point, Millie will try in earnest to open the door at that point.
Okay. Give it a good tug.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a
or
strength
more of a
check.
steady pull, but yeah.
Strength check, please.
Okay. Oh, okay. 9.
Okay.
Roll 10 and 11.
There is considerably less resistance this time. Still doesn't open. However, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
And that we get. What was the bonus on that? A D4 for bless.
Is that on saving throws? I thought it's
Yeah, D4.
Saving throws and attack.
Saving throws and attack rolls.
Savings.
You're right.
Okay, good thing for that.
Jimmy, the way that you're gonna do it so they don't get stuck is drop them vertically rather than side by side.
Yeah, well, it's just the D20s. The other ones don't. But, okay, so that's 15.
15. Okay. You hear a clicking sound, and you just immediately jump backwards just in time to see a crossbow bolt hit the door right where you were standing.
From what angle can I draw the line of sight back to where it came from?
Yes. You find in the wall
You find.
there is a small hole that looks like it came out of it directly in the wall to your right.
Gotcha, kind of like a side angle to go. Pew. I'm gonna take it out. How good a quality does the bolt look? Like, how well is it held up in time?
Not well. It looks like it was a wooden bolt with a metal tip, and the wood itself is pretty warped to the point where you're amazed it was able to get through the hole. But the metal's still metal, so
Okay.
rusted, but
yeah.
would do the job.
I'll just flick that aside and then... No, she'll go to the place where the bolt came out of and shove it back in reverse.
Kind of difficult to do that. Are you shoving it point first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deliberately trying to wedge
To
it.
jam it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You're able to stick it in there, and if nothing else, it'll slow down
Yeah.
another bolt if it comes through.
Okay. And then back to the door, tries again.
Okay. Good. Another strength check, please.
From where we are, can we hear the bolt like hitting something?
You're 150 foams away.
One.
So
Not natural one.
you wouldn't hear anything that you could really distinguish from them just messing with the door.
We could see the glow of the light from the fireball, right?
Well, and the
Firebolt-
bucket's over there.
Can I
Fireball's much smaller than a fireball, but you can see little flashes of light. Yeah.
Okay.
Fifi's gonna try to assist so that I can cancel out the disadvantage.
All right.
Well, the second attempt was a non-natural 1. The 2 minus 1.
Okay. So Fifi was trying to help.
Well, the guy already rolled, so this would be the third
Yeah.
attempt.
Go ahead, but not natural.
Yeah,
Damn.
it was a 2 minus 1.
So it's not reducing our limit break.
You are not really able to pull it. It feels like it may be able to be opened. You might just lack the strength to do it. How painful was it to write that?
So this is just a long Fifi.
You just hear a sigh in the darkness.
Just out of nowhere, you just hear.
don't need vocal expression, so Millie can sigh too.
Okay.
But
All right.
then she's
We'll head back and get Kevin.
Yeah, dash back, and
You only need to go back 30 feet, and you click once.
Yeah, Millie can scream and cry and shit, right?
no, anything involving the vocal cords is no. Yeah, so that she'll go back 30 feet and then click 5 times.
5 times. What does that
Needs
indicate?
assistance.
Yeah. All right, so I'll be like, okay, everybody, we have to go. Millie needs our help.
All right, everyone.
He was under attack, so get ready to fight. And we're going to charge down the...
Guys, relax. We just need we need
To arms!
Kevin.
To arms!
No, 5 clicks is like, I'm in trouble. Come.
It's a need assistance with a non-variable degree of
Got it.
intent.
Kevin takes out his sword. All right,
Wait,
everyone,
hold on.
charge! Just runs past Fifi. And it's like swinging in the darkness because it's dark. And
No, there's a flashlight
Sure.
up over here. You can't see.
Millie, where are you? I'm here to save you.
Please tell me he smacks into the door, please.
Kevin runs straight into the door.
Eventually?
I found it, and I start slashing at the door. What is it? What is it?
Wait. You have your weapon out?
Yeah, I have my weapon out.
It's pretty. It's not a lot of room here. So if you had your weapon out, you might be hitting other people or putting them in danger.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
All
All right, no, I'm not slashing at anything. Whoa, what is it? What is it?
I will more leisurely follow.
Having listened to Lon Fifi.
Okay, I take back everything I said. I can read their door. Where's the enemy?
The enemy's the door. If you can get it open.
Yeah, she'll just make the pantomime trying to open the door.
Oh, okay. You just need me to open the door. Why'd you scream for help? I thought you were in danger.
Hold on, screaming.
Why'd you click for
Pretty
help?
sure
I thought
Millie
you were in
can't
danger.
scream.
It's just a door. I put my sword away. No problem.
Yeah, you know we need big, brawny people.
Then I try to open the door.
Okay, give me a. It doesn't easily open. If you want to try to tug it open, give me a strength check.
Someone else should assist, probably.
Is it a skill check? After all, 2?
It's an ability check. Yeah.
It's an ability check. All right. 23 and 13.
Okay. With the 13, you are able to tug at the door, and it starts to open, and to the point where you start to hear like a wood cracking sound, but it doesn't sound like it's coming from the door itself. So you feel like you could almost get it, but you didn't quite get it with that tug.
I'll give it one more try.
Okay.
A 24 and a 13.
Same issue.
Give it another try.
I'm gonna assist again so that it doesn't
Nat
have to be
20?
disadvantage.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
And a...
So it should just be a nat 20 because I assisted.
Awesome. So 24 and technically 20, but since it was assisting, just regular.
Okay. So Land Phoebe's just like pulling on Kevin's shirt while Kevin's pulling on the door. That's your assisting.
That's all it took.
Yeah. And Kevin just gives it a big tug, and you hear a snapping sound, and the door opens, and you just see clattering to the floor in front of you two halves of what appear to be a barricade bar of wood from the opposite side.
Thanks for the help, Fifi.
The wear of time.
Thanks for the help, Fifi. It's no longer a door now; it's a jar. My pops used to tell me that joke. I thought it was hilarious.
Millie's gonna try to assign to Deus to explain the weird holes.
14.
Hey! Yeah, so she points out the holes. She says she looked into them. It connects to another room. There's holes in the walls and the ceiling that look different than the crenellations. But I don't know why or what they're for.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know either. We should go investigate. So on the other side of the door, are we like in the outer bailey now?
The outer bailey?
Yeah.
Thank you for the correct terminology.
Of course.
You are. It's still covered, so there's a roof to it. It's not like an outdoor courtyard.
Okay.
But it is a much bigger room. The ceiling's up higher. It looks like it's just got a lot more space in it. The walls have, it looks like weapon racks that have more or less been emptied. There still are some there. And then there's banners that are hanging there. And Sherbin, have you gone into that room yet?
I've just kind of followed along after everyone. I'm still kind of hanging around in the back, quite in that room yet.
Okay. Well, when you do go into the room, you would recognize the sigil on the banners as that of Ishgard. And anyone who saw the signpost would be able to recognize the symbol as well.
Okay, so
I don't.
It's Omega and I.
Yeah, so they're large tapestries. There's 6 of them in this room, evenly spaced along the walls. It looks like they're pretty proud of it. There's fixtures that would hold 2 more tapestries, one on either side of the wall, but the tapestries are missing from that part of the wall. No sign of where they might be.
Okay.
They're how big does this room look to be?
Large. We're talking. This is. I want to say it's about 50 foams high, the ceiling. Which, upon looking up, there is a hole in the ceiling, and snow falling through. So there's like a center portion of the room has just a big old pile of snow there. It seems to have spread out across the floor, but the majority of the concentration's in that one spot. It looks like that hole's probably been there for a little while. It's not immediately obvious what caused it. It's not a natural hole, I'll put it that way.
Sure.
Money's own dragons.
As you look to the sides, 50 feet high, across this room, the outer bailey is about 200 foams, but with the light that's coming in from the ceiling, plus the bucket around you, you're able to kind of see the entire thing. It's not really hidden by light at the moment. Like, I guess some light's coming from the outside, even though it's nighttime. You are getting that ambient light that would be out there. It's like the moon is shining through the sky.
Are there any scratch marks on the interior of this door?
There are not.
And there weren't any on the exterior either?
No.
Okay.
When you look over to the sides, you see two stairwells, one on either side of you, on the same wall that you're entering from.
And those are the only avenues out of this room, or is there still?
No, there's a much larger door, all the way across, like directly across from you.
Okay.
Wow, this I wasn't expecting such a big room, but looks like this is a place we might be able to hunker down tonight and get some rest. They even put a fireplace in the ceiling for the smoke can get rid of, so the smoke can evacuate. This is not the room.
You have to wonder why it was barricaded from the inside.
I don't think it was barricaded. I think there was just a piece of wood stopping the door from opening.
Usually when the door is locked, that means somebody's home. Especially when it's locked from the inside.
Oh. He's at home! I scream out.
It echoes along the walls for a while. You hear your own voice. Whether or not you will recognize it as your own voice is up to you.
But that must be
response.
That must be what it sounds like in his head at all times.
I think maybe that hole up there made the barricade useless.
You're saying that hole wasn't always there to begin with?
Doesn't look like it was engineered into this place.
Oh.
See the rough edges around it.
Kevin, you should definitely like this place.
Why's that?
Because it's holy.
I don't get it. Oh, you mean the Book of Bob? Got it. I think you're thinking of I remember in school, Sid taught me that sometimes there's words that sound the same but have different meaning. And I think it might be one of those cases. I'd be happy to tell you what the other words are, but I can't really remember them right now.
Yeah, that would be a homophone, but
I accept all people in life. I think it's weird when two people of the same gender get together, but like I said, I accept it.
Yes.
So before we go
I don't know why you
upstairs to check for us,
Professor.
before we go upstairs to check for a smaller room, should I roll like a D4 for psychic damage on that?
But here, like this, it has more room, whereas here it was pressured into that, which might work.
You should probably at least roll your eyes.
So just took psychic damage from
Oh,
Kevin's explanation.
I think we should first figure out where those stairs lead to. Make sure there's nothing scary in those places. And then you see that door over there? Maybe we should check that first altogether.
Yeah, I'm still going up the side left stairs.
Okay, I'm going to go open the door at the same time then. I'm going to go check the door.
The stairs are much closer than the far door.
The stairs are literally on either side of where you just entered.
Oh, got it.
The door is 200 fulms across from you.
Okay, I'm going to head towards the door. I'm not there yet, but...
Okay, I'm gonna go up the stairs with Millie behind
The
her.
left side.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no door blocking your way here. It's just a spiral staircase leading up about one floor's worth or so, and it opens up into another room. It's pretty dark in here, but there is some outside light shining in.
And I took Mr. Bucket with me, since the other room had some ambient light.
You're able to see around here. You see set up on or next to each of those holes that was drilled in there appears to be an apparatus holding it's like a movable, like up and down kind of apparatus holding crossbows that are there.
Right.
So yes, they were murder holes.
Okay, and this was the room that I saw when I peeked through?
Yeah. You also have access to above those holes, above that part of it. So it's basically, here's the room, here's floor, and then halfway up is the wall, and right here are where those holes are, and then it's got like a flattened top, and then you see more holes.
Gotcha. So the room's kind of U-shaped in that you can get on top of stuff.
Correct. You could also see all the way across, and there's a similar room undivided on the other side.
Cool.
So,
and then by comparison, this is a fairly smaller space than the room with the hole in it.
There's not a lot of room in here. Not a lot of space in here. However, because you have Mr. Bucket with you, I can't believe we're calling it that. Because you have your bucket, you see huddled up are two desiccated bodies along a wall.
Humanoid.
I think we found the inhabitants.
Yeah. But yeah, so she'll look at Deus and thumbs up, and then go down to tell Sid and the rest.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, if I'm not there, then I need to.
Yeah, I'm gonna check out the bodies real quick just to see what's what.
Okay.
All right, Kevin.
How's the glare on this? Is this readable like this? Because it looks like
Yeah.
a glare on.
Fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good room.
Okay, cool.
Okay. When you're checking the bodies, they appear to have been there for some time. The skin is like hanging off the bones. They're very dead.
They rotisserie very well.
And frozen. They appear to be clutching each other for warmth.
Aw,
As far as you can
It's
tell.
Anna and Elsa.
that's messed up.
In its hand. As you get closer, you can see that both of them have various broken bones.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. And the breaks look like they were like pre-death, or
Yeah, you would assume.
Pre-mortem.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna try to take the parchment as carefully as possible because I fear it's gonna be old. I don't want to.
The parchment appears to be in better condition than the bodies.
Good.
It stood the test of time. It is old, and part of it does rip as you're taking it out of the frozen hands of the body.
Oh no!
What?
He ripped the paper.
uh, Scrawled on it in very poor writing. Like it's common, it's written in common, but myriad misspellings, poor grammar, and it's not clean handwriting whatsoever.
Did Kevin write this?
Um, the message more or less says, "Damn Jantelo." It's Jantellot. So
Okay.
Jantelo. And his treasure hunting schemes. We're gonna die in here. He just got lucky enough to go first.
Oh, okay. So, do these look like they were wearing like soldier uniforms?
They do not.
Ah.
They appear to be wearing loose cold weather outfit, but like with a lot of allows for a lot of mobility. So like it's made to move around in. But it is cold weather gear, and they do not appear to be soldiers.
Okay.
What race are they?
They're
Elizan.
Elizans.
You can tell by their spines. Okay, so
Well done.
I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna say, Genbu, you were correct about the treasure hunting aspect of this place. These people upstairs, they died looking for some treasure.
Really?
Yes. And now I just realized that Genbu was actually being run by David when he said that. So Dustin probably doesn't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, I was like, what?
What, Dustin, you didn't watch the video of last session? What are you... How rude. By the way, brief aside, Jess, this is your week to write. Are you good with that?
Yep, already taking notes.
Cool. Just want to check.
Hey, good job there, Gay Boo. I'm so proud of you. You got something right for a change.
I'm somehow not okay with that.
Did the note, or did you find anything else out, Deus?
All I saw was that they weren't wearing a uniforms, military uniforms, so they came after the fact. I'm not sure how long they've been dead, but most likely after this was abandoned.
Wait, there's dead bodies upstairs?
No, only 2 of them. Yeah.
Oh God, how'd they die?
Well, they had a lot of broken bones, so a lot of trauma, but they were clutching each other like they were trying to keep warm. So I figured that the cold is what actually did them in.
Oh, that sounds terrible. I mean, sure does get cold around here. In fact, we should probably start thinking about how to make a fire at some point.
It didn't look like anything was nibbling on them, did it?
No, their bodies seemed intact. They were just very, very dead.
How'd you learn about the treasure then?
Oh, it's from the note here. I'll show the note. I almost thought you wrote this, Kevin. It's like your handwriting.
Oh, actually, I can read this almost perfectly. Something about some damn guy that sent them on some stupid quest to get treasure. Huh.
Yeah, exactly. Some damn Jamlo.
I mean, if I wouldn't roll like that, it'd be much easier to read, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, I think we can use that room as a safe spot for now, and Sid looks like 100% troubled by this as he continues talking, and
So does that mean you're volunteering to move the dead bodies out of the room before we sleep there, yes?
Well, I was going to say, if we really want to know more, I can ask
You have to move
them.
those dead bodies. I mean, they're dead. They've gone to the crater, Bob. Africa will save them. And, hopefully they're in a better place now. And Kevin, don't worry about it, guys. I got it. And I'll go up and grab the bodies.
So wait. Professor Sid, you can talk to the dead?
No, they are Elizan.
I don't like to.
But you can't, correct?
Very basically, yes.
Professor, what do you need in order to speak to someone who's dead, like, in terms of body?
I just need a mouth, and they can't be undead.
So they actually have to have a mouth, but do they need, like, vocal cords? Because clearly skeletons don't have that.
I don't think it's that in depth, Fifi. It's
like,
not something I enjoy.
Could you speak to the spine that you've been carrying around?
Well, the spine doesn't have a mouth.
So just something in the shape of a mouth, that's what's required?
I would imagine some kind of half a head even would work. I mean, clinically, as long as it's able to open and close its mandible, I would imagine that's...
What if you took the head off of one of these dead bodies and stuck it on that spine?
I think it would only be the head of the body. I don't think it would transfer consciousness to the spine. That would be kind of strange. I mean, the whole thing's a little strange.
Clearly, the brain is not in there anymore, so if you cast the spell on the spine and gave it a mouth?
I think it has to do more with the spirit than the brain, if that makes sense.
You don't need the brain to speak, Land Fifi. Look at Kevin.
You see Kevin walking downstairs with two bodies clutching each other over his shoulder. Where should we throw these things?
And as Kevin's walking downstairs with them, you actually hear Kevin coming, both from his heavy footsteps and from the sounds of things falling on the stairs. And when he comes into view, you can see parts of bone and debris from the bodies just falling off of them as he's walking.
Save their mouths, Kevin.
Save their mouths? What are we going to use their mouths for?
Oh no, Professor C was saying he wants to talk to them.
I caught that, John.
I go over to DX. Hey, DX, I'm a little worried if you think Professor's going to be talking to dead people. I mean, maybe this adventure's been a little bit too tough for that old professor there.
Yeah, I think it's been trying for all of us, though, Kevin. I don't think we should single out, Professor Sig because he's, elderly.
But he's going a little crazy if he thinks he can talk to dead people.
How quiet are they trying to be, and how close are they?
I mean, I'm trying to be quiet, but Kevin's not quiet, so...
Oh, I'm just having a normal conversation.
So yes, you can hear them.
First of all, I'm not that old. Secondly, if we want to talk to it, I can talk to one, and I can
Kevin, I'm pretty sure you're older than Professor said.
I can maybe get 5 or so questions in on it, so we're gonna have to really know what we want to know.
Professor, if you get the chance to talk to them, make sure you should probably try to talk to the one who was holding the note.
Yeah, Deus, which one was that?
I'll point to the one that was holding the note.
Okay.
I hate to be the guy. Why are we all talking about talking to dead bodies? Dead bodies don't talk back. That's just pure insanity.
Didn't you say your book has some dead guy that came back and talked to people?
Yes. Bob did, but he didn't die. See, he was reborn, and he came back for 7 days, and then he went back and spent the rest of his time in the heavenly place.
I'm sorry I asked.
I'd be happy to share you. I mean, part of my mission is to spread the book and the love around.
I think Sherman wanted to hear about that, and then I'm gonna walk away.
That's right, Sherman. I wanted to hear about Bob. Oh, well, sorry. Was I interrupting?
All right. Well, the first thing I guess we would want to know is what did this to them. I guess.
I'm still holding them, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Anybody else with any other questions? Millie, I'll keep the Mr. Bucket one under advisory.
I wrote, do they like Mr. Bucket?
Yeah, ask him, what does heaven look like? Is it a nice place? Or hell? I mean, I'm not sure. They could have gone to the dark place. I don't know if they were good. I'm not sure if they accepted the true Lord and Savior Bob into their life, but there's some... I'm pretty on if that's allowed or not.
They're not very practical questions, Kevin.
Yeah, I will.
Very practical question. Don't you want to know where you go when you die?
I will keep that if we have an extra one at the end after ones that might actually help us now, I can add that on to the end.
I very much appreciate that, Sid.
Yeah, you might want to ask how their boss died, and where, and what the treasure was.
Yeah, and if there even was supposed to be any treasure here in the first place.
All right, what treasure were you after? What year?
Like what year?
Right,
year
or when
did
did
they
you die?
I mean, I'd also like to know what their favorite food was because I've been partial to hamburgers since we tried them, and I know there's probably a lot of other things to eat around here as well.
Right? I guess that would be covered by when did you die?
I told you what year this campaign's taking place, right?
Well, there was
You
close
did.
time and there was real time, right? I don't know
I
what the
thought I
real.
mentioned the real time.
I don't know the real time.
I'm pretty sure you did. I just don't think our players are aware that the cliffside time is not the real time.
Okay, well, for Sherman and Genbu, who would know what year it is,
Are you sure?
it's 1127.
Because we thought it was like 400 or something like that.
Yeah, very low number. We're like,
Or
You thought the Earth was about 400 years old.
yeah,
Are we
Kevin
doing
asked,
this-
is that
Are we doing
AM or
this in like
PM?
astral era or umbral era?
400 years AM.
Well, 400 years AM. Got it.
Yeah.
1127 AC, after Calamity.
whereas we thought it was 400 years after Calamity or 400 years period.
You don't know what after Calamity means.
Yeah.
You just thought the world was made. 400
AC
years
stands
ago.
for after Cliffside. That's when we got here. So this is
Oh.
one AC.
That means you guys have been here for 1100 years. Wow, time flies.
Yeah.
All right, well, I have what did this to you? How did your boss die? What treasure were you after? What year did you die? And any danger that we should be aware of?
And what does heaven look like? And what's your favorite food?
I will try to shoehorn that in, Kevin.
Ah, much appreciated.
Why don't you put him down, or put them down over here by the door, Kevin? And
I just kind of drop them on by the door.
Okay.
You know how you like
Pieces.
you like get rid of a sack?
The bones shatter, for the most part.
I will go over and try to arrange them well enough to sit it up a little bit, and then.
One of them has a skull and jaw mostly intact. Almost nothing else is.
How about the one that Deus showed was the one holding a note?
It more or less looks like it. Looks like it's that one.
Oh, good. That's the guy.
I'll sit him up and I'll reach into my bag and pull out some incense and light that quickly. And as that starts to smoke up, Sid's eyes turn completely black, and he touches the one on the forehead.
Okay. You see, after a few quiet seconds, you see the jaw struggle to open on one side because only one side of it actually moves. The other is still frozen. And you hear the sound of breath being inhaled into the skull. And then the eyes, or what's left of the eye sockets rather, have a red glow.
Sorry to disturb your slumber, but I have a few questions for you. What did this to you?
The fall.
Fall.
So if that wasn't loud enough, I won't do the stage whisper.
I think you got it.
Yeah.
The fall, right? And that's what I heard?
Yeah. You said the fall.
Fall.
Fallout Boy.
Yeah. It was Fallout Boy. He was listening to Grand Theft Auto and tripped, and then yeah.
You were here working for somebody. How did he die?
He fell.
Fair enough. What were you after here? What treasure?
Riches of a wartime fort. That's 3.
What year was it when you died?
963.
Other than the fall and the cold, is there any danger we should be aware of here?
Beware your friends. I should have. And with that, the light just completely fades from the skull. The jaw clambers to the ground and shatters, and the skull just kind of rolls away.
Is that audible for everyone, or is that only Sid?
I think it's everybody.
That everybody can hear it.
Kevin slashes the body of the skeleton. I said, "You okay? He's trying to attack you."
Easy. Sid closes his eyes and kind of stands up and takes a few steps away to collect himself.
Yeah, when Kevin slashes at the bone pile that's on the ground from where he dropped it, just chips of bone fly everywhere. One gets stuck in your beard.
I don't worry though. I think I got it. I think it's dead.
Does
It's
Akbar
done.
stab Kevin?
What?
Does Akbar stab Kevin?
What?
Because you told us to beware of our friends.
Oh my god.
Well, that's not a ton of information, but maybe some things we can keep an eye out for.
What it's saying about its favorite food?
I think it was too damaged from the fall, Kevin. I don't think he had much to say about that.
So we really got no useful
So you should have
information
just
out of
said
this thing.
hamburgers.
That's possible, Millie. If you want to go digging,
Yep. Millie and Mr. Bucket are going to go attempt to excavate the snow pile from the room with the hole in it.
Okay.
well, I think we're all still down here. Kevin brought him down.
Yeah, we're all in the same room.
Oh, my bad. Then yeah, she's just going to walk over and just start shoveling.
Sure.
Bucketing.
Immediately what you see, when you look up at the hole where the snow is falling through, you see a small bit of
We're going.
rope.
Yeah, going good.
Good. A small bit of rope hanging from the top, and it's like, it seems to have frayed, broken, something like that, got caught on something sharp, and it's like unreachable at the moment. You can just see it kind of flapping in the wind up above.
Yep. So then she's just going to, wherever that is above, and just...
And it is the snow pile, and you actually see a small bit of the rope is leading into the snow pile. It's not covered by the snow, so you uncover that area, and you find a body. In fact, the body has a broken femur up through the skull.
Terrible way to go.
Yeah. So it looks like he fell from a great height, tried to land on his feet, and went through his head.
You land on your feet and roll. You can't just land on your feet. Anyways.
Not everyone's a cat, you know.
Cool. So you're going to search the body, see if the boss had anything boss-worthy.
Okay. His clothes have mostly given way to time. He has a grappling hook.
Hey!
Yeah, it's a grappling hook, and the rope itself... I'm sorry, the grappling hook has no rope itself, is what I was trying to say. He's got some very old, no longer good rations. He has a canteen that's frozen.
Trail Mix 2.0.
And he's got a few pieces of gill on him. 3 pieces of gill.
Cool. Any weapons?
A dagger. He has a small rusty dagger.
Okay. She leaves the dagger. She was just curious if
There's
they
also
came
cell
in.
lockpicks. Sorry.
Do the lockpicks look rusted, and the grappling hook for that matter?
They all look rusted. They've been here for over 200 years.
Can the men spell work on rusty
I may
items?
be able to help you with that, Millie, but I need to rest if we can.
Theoretically, yeah.
Well,
what time is it? Men's a level 1.
Men's a cantrip.
Oh, it's a cantrip?
Cantrip. Yep.
Oh, sick.
There's like restore object. That's the higher level spell or something like that.
The mending is like 1 foot of mending.
Yeah, so like the grapple hook.
It's a small amount. Yeah.
About what time is it, Daz? Based on like when we woke up, I know it's hard to say.
8:30 p.m. at the moment.
Oh, the gill. How does it compare to the old gill that we found in the Beholder Cave that you said was noticeably aged?
It's the same. It has the same symbology.
Cool.
Cool.
I think we should all rest. It's starting to get late. We should make camp. I do want to check out what's behind that door first. Make sure there's nothing scary, in case we need to. What'd you say, Fifi? Barricade it.
The door is in decent condition. It was just the block thing that broke.
The door that you just came through?
The one that was blocked before.
It's a little swollen, but other than that, it still works as a door. It doesn't have a locking bar anymore because you broke that.
So I go over to the other door now.
The one across the hall?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a very large door. It does not appear to be frozen over. It does appear a little swollen. It is wood. There doesn't seem to be anything impeding you here.
I just try to either push it open. I'll try pushing it open first, and then pulling it open.
Okay. It pushes open. With some difficulty, and it's like scraping across the ground as you do so. But it wasn't locked, it wasn't trapped, there was no bar on it. You are able to open it, and again, some difficulty, but you're able to do it. And it's making a horrid sound as it scrapes across the ground.
And then I peer into the room.
Okay. You have no light with you, correct? And no dark vision?
Nope.
The room ahead of you is almost completely black.
Hey, Millie. I can't quite see in this room. It's pretty dark. Can you bring that bucket with light?
She'll go over and shine the light into the room from the threshold.
Sure. Okay. This is a small room.
So big door into small room?
Yeah. The big door is... Let me try that again. Big door is leading to a stairway descending into a small room. And it's a small stairway. It's not... It's like 6 falls. It's just like a small decline.
Right.
More or less like this. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's leading into a small room, and just from where you are, what you can see in the room, there appears to be a desk with a chair next to it. And there's some armor along the wall and some spears, but they're kind of like mismatched. Like it looks like they're trying to keep them in good order, but they're not really standing up anymore. Like they've fallen over.
Does this room look to be a little more well preserved because it was closed off?
Yes.
Okay.
There's no ice in this room. It's cold, but
and
it doesn't look like there's been any penetration.
How big does that room look compared to the room up the stairway?
The one that you're currently in, you mean?
Yeah, the tiny room.
The murder hole room.
The murder hole room compared to this room.
Oh, this is very different. The murder hole room served the purpose of protecting.
Size. I just meant size.
Oh, this is a normal sized room. Honestly, it's about the size of the room that we're in.
Okay. Does there look to be any ventilation in this room?
Not that you can tell.
Hey, everyone, I think we found some armor and some spears, if anyone's looking for some. And there's a desk over here. Looks like it's some type of workroom. Someone would write. Sid, you might like this place.
Okay. There is an ink feather, quill, and there is a file of ink that has long since dried up. On the table, there is a letter and an unsealed envelope.
And does the letter, being that it was relatively preserved, does it look super fragile?
It doesn't.
She'll take it out and try to read it.
Okay. It feels old, but it's still relatively intact paper. When you pull it out, it is written in common. The ink has faded slightly, but you're still able to make out what it says. Which is... To whomever reads this, if there will be anyone left to read it, let it be known that I, Sir Pascarlet Neutral, bore witness to Kurthus' fall, the ground cracking open, the black doom which emerged from within, the ice and gales which spread across the horizon, turning day to night, shall haunt me for the rest of my days. It is the end of days, according to some of the men. I told them to put no stock in the raving of fools, but even I do not know what to believe anymore. And it lets off there.
Okay. Can you put that in the chat so I can write that down later?
I guess.
I start kicking at the desk to see if it can break off easy. What Kevin's thinking is trying to get pieces of wood to make a fire.
Kevin kicks a hole into the desk and it crumples over to the side.
Hey, we also found some firewood. Should help with the fire.
Look, and she's gonna try to salvage whatever she can from the drawers of the desk.
Okay. You find 3 more ink quills, unused, apparently. You find parchment. It's about legal paper size parchment. And I'll say 5 sheets of that.
And you find some weird A4 size paper that you're not sure where it came from.
Nobody knows what it's really for, but it's there.
You see somebody play tic-tac-toe on one of them.
My kids loved graph paper at my old school district job.
I did too.
Yeah, who doesn't like graph paper? Yeah.
Especially the tan paper that's like thicker and rougher, I guess.
It's like butcher paper, right?
Kind of.
I'm gonna
feels like a very, very thin cardboard.
I'm gonna start bringing up the wood into the room where the dead people were.
Oh, wait, Kevin. Millie, Deus, is it better up there or in the room you guys just were?
Yeah, let's check that out.
Where's
Okay, so if we were going to shelter, right? I'm assuming that the office that they just found is better than the one upstairs because there's no ice in it.
Okay. So you're checking out the office. There's no real ventilation if
Right.
you were going to build a fire.
Right.
So you'd need to figure that out. But it is a relatively small room, and it looks like there's only 2 exits. The one that you came in, and another door which appears to lead further in.
Right. Okay.
Past
shoot,
that, it seems safe.
There's another door over here. I didn't even realize. I'm gonna go open up that door. And I open up that door.
Okay. So then while Kevin's doing that, I'll just let Sid know that ventilation might be an issue, but it is more insulated than the other one.
Just that.
Yeah.
I would just leave the door open, and the smoke should go out that way, right? Anyway, I'm gonna go try this other door, and I try to push open that door. And if that doesn't work, I'll try to pull it open.
Okay. You are able to pull it open. And it doesn't give much resistance at all. It looks like there is a keyhole, but it wasn't locked.
Millie runs over and locks it. Fuck you, Kevin.
Okay, and looking in, it looks like it leads deeper into the Dust Vigil with not easy for you to see because you don't have dark vision.
Yeah. Oh, and Millie passes the letter and the quills and the parchment to Sid.
Okay, then I come back in, I close the door, and do I feel... Oh, so it had to be... I pulled it open. So do I feel like is there a place to put a piece of board up to like stop people from coming in the room to barricade this one?
Because you pull it. You pull it open. You could probably wedge something in front of the door so that it wouldn't open, but you have to be creative with it.
Well, I think it looks like that one goes on deeper, but it's getting late, and I think it'd be smarter before we investigate more to kind of barricade this door. And
Right. I think if we're willing to deal with a little bit of cold, we have the cold weather gear, and we're a little insulated at least. At least upstairs, there'd be a little more airflow. And they'd have to, and if anything did come, it could only come from one angle.
that's right. And if we need to run, we could always run into the other room, which we're barricading right now. But we do have a place to exit.
Well,
If we're... Oh, never mind.
if we can go upstairs, we're kind of hemming ourselves in, but I'd rather that than choking on smoke.
Well, I think the upstairs will be warmer than a cave anyway. I'm okay with both places, honestly. Whatever you think, Professor.
I think up. Anybody, what are we all? Consensus.
Millie gives a thumbs up to that.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I agree, Professor.
We have yet to come across anything that we need to barricade ourselves from. So I think we should be fine.
All right, well, I'll pick up some wood and start bringing it upstairs. If anyone wants to help carry some wood, we're going to have a nice fire tonight.
Are there any remnants of the hands of those two people that crumbled to pieces?
Like the digits, the bones. If you sift through their bodies or what's left of it, you'll find a digit or two, sure.
She wants to look at if she can find fingertip bones and see if they appear damaged at all from scratching on the drawbridge.
Roll an investigation check.
19 and 3.
Nice.
8.
You scour through the pile, but the inhalation of old bone dust quickly
Gross.
dissuades you from looking further.
Flick, flick, flick. Okay. She gives up.
I'll grab a few pieces of wood and follow Kevin up.
Kevin begins to start setting up for a campfire and getting ready to bed down for the night.
Are you going up the left side or the right side? The left side is what you went up before.
The left side. I'd probably pick the same side.
Okay.
Sherman's gonna go up as well.
Did the armaments that are in the main room just spear... Because you said there were still some on the racks. Spears mostly, or... And
There is an old rusty longsword that you find.
Okay.
But it's mostly spears that are left over. There's a whole lot of empty spaces where it looks like weapons were.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So Millie will just grab a bunch of spears then and follow suit.
Where are you gonna put them?
Yeah, break them to be...
From wood.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
carry them like cords of wood.
You grab 6 spears.
Because they're not that heavy and they're old, good, dry wood to...
More or less.
Yeah. And she'll keep all the spear tips that are rusty.
Okay. What else is going on? What are y'all doing?
Millie makes 6 little snowmen that all have spears, rusty spear tips for heads.
That's adorable.
I'll scratch that. She makes little snowmen around the dead body of the boss and make it look like they're stabbing him with the little rusty spear heads.
That's less adorable. Still awesome.
Sherman's picking her spot to sleep, which will be
It's like
right, the corner right next to the door.
So he makes all the little snowmen.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to do the same.
You're gonna find a place to sleep.
Yeah, to get ready to.
You said next to the stairwell?
Yeah, it'll be the corner that's right
I
next to
can't
the
do
door.
this.
That way,
really
if there's
nothing here.
freeze, it won't bother her.
No, I'll just
Okay.
I'll take the hit.
I will go to the farthest corner that can be found and kind of just huddle up in there, kind of separate.
Are y'all making a fire?
Kevin's
I make
making
a fire.
So you're sitting away from the fire?
Well, in range of at least a little warmth, but Sid's not doing so hot right now.
Oh.
Then after her snowman, Calvin, and Hobbes escapades, Millie's going to go up the right side stairwell just to make sure there's nothing weird in it.
It's empty.
If you'll just find a spot by the fire to
You
sleep.
wouldn't even see the bodies on the other side.
Oh, I get what you mean. Okay, so there's just the crossbow mounts.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Are they loaded?
The crossbows are not loaded. In fact, most of them seem to be in disrepair.
Okay. Disrepair enough that you can yank it off easily?
Yeah, but it'd probably fall apart.
Well, yeah, that's fine. Just more wood for burning.
Yeah. What if they need to use it?
Well,
Ending.
So you're gonna fix it for the dead bodies in here? You're gonna say, "Okay, guys, I fixed this for you on my way out."
may your ghosts hunt intruders in peace.
Yeah.
Or not. But yeah, after that, just making sure we have plenty of wood to keep fire going through the night so we can all rest comfortably. Millie will... I guess we'll...
Watch. I thought that said water.
There we go. Now it does.
From Boston. Millie's from Boston.
Yep. She doesn't talk because everyone made fun of her accent.
Oh, that makes sense.
I just need a little time. I could take later watches.
What's the order? Who's watching?
Millie will volunteer for first watch
Okay.
because that'll be the...
I just want to note, all of you are very tired. You're all exhausted.
Yeah, I am only sleeping.
I'll take first watch with Millie.
Millie visibly makes a face. All right. Anybody doing second watch?
I'll take
Sid
second
can-
watch.
Sid can do second watch.
If enough people to contribute, we'll still all get long rests.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I will set up my sounding sentry by the hatch or the
What is the
stairway.
It's an
It's just an alarm spell, so that way if something does come up, I'll wake up automatically.
it's not so much a hatch. There's literally stairways leading up to a door that leads out to those.
Okay, yes, I'll put it up by there so that way it'll
Okay.
trigger.
And you can designate us to not set off that alarm.
Right.
So yeah, 'cause it's a mental alarm within 1 mile.
Okay, I'm gonna go back a mile, set it,
Oh,
and
you
come
can
back.
choose if you want it mental or audible. I was wrong the first time I explained.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have it audible, so that way everyone can hear
Yeah.
it, right? Yeah. Okay, good. So that's more utility than I
Yeah,
thought.
no, I have that backwards.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not a mage. He's not a mage. The closest people to mages are these people.
Yep.
There's Mr. Bucket.
Millie had
Up
him
to no good's the answer. Is
Hopping around with the little snowmen.
Snowman. No, she had brought it down with the snowman because when she had dug up the bodies. So, I guess for keeping watch, she'll have Mr. Bucket with her. The spell would have worn off by that point. 'Cause it's only an hour. So
Which spell?
Lights.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll just put Mr. Bucket back on her head and see if
It's cold.
less cold. She'll put Mr. Bucket near the fire for a few minutes before starting watch.
It's much warmer now.
And then wear the bucket. For her first watch, Millie's going to be basically just doing loops between the two stairs. So like up, down,
Okay.
just to see. Because if we're at the top, we can't see anything going down on the bottom floor.
Correct.
So she's going to go down the stairs, check out the chamber because she can see fine, up the stairs, and just...
Trying to
that's her-
stay away from Kevin as much as possible.
That and patrol.
Okay. All right. Kevin, what would you like to do during this time?
Kevin's just relaxing, He'll wait till he gets a chance to see Millie. Millie, we never really talk. I really don't know much about you.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Good point.
I mean, how would you lose your voice? I know I've seen you around. You're always around DX, and I've always appreciated you as one of DX's closest friends. But how'd you lose your voice?
This truck is betraying me.
There's the Ides of March.
Ice is here, but not gone.
Monster stole it. A monster stole it. A monster stole it. We didn't have monsters in that village. Did you go out ever to go during the fall? What happened? I never saw you go on an adventure outside.
They weren't hunting trips, they were expeditions. That's what we call
Expeditions, right? I never saw you on an expedition. I thought you were always in school doing the school thing.
Screw you, Grubhub. Stop telling me things.
You are 4 years old. You were 4 years old when you lost your voice. I heard a story, and I don't believe it. Because DX, my most trusted friend, you know how the village talks. I heard that some people were saying that you murdered your parents because they didn't get enough attention. And I never believed that to be true. But they said you murdered them, and you cooked up some elaborate story of how you disposed the bodies. I mean, why would people think that?
She just looks at you very, very dumbfounded.
Wait, so you did murder your parents at 4 years old? I mean, they must have been doing something real rotten to you to want to do that. Cause you seem like a nice girl. No, you're not a nice girl. No, you're a very nice girl. I just don't believe that. Oh, you mean your parents? You didn't murder your parents? Oh, okay. Well, how come the whole village is saying that you did? And I shouldn't say the whole village. You know, those bratish Schulister sisters, right? They always Byard. Yeah, I just couldn't think of it. A bird monster. Bird monster killed your parents. Oh shoot! And you've been on loan since you were 4 years old. Well, why didn't you tell me? You could have joined us at the farm. Iron Forest. Is there an Iron Forest where we're from? Oh, in forest. In. There's an in forest. Oh, I know that word. Yeah, in the forest. Ugh. That sure is sad. Well, I'm sorry they spreading all those rumors. You know, when we get back there, I promise that, anyone spreading rumors, if you ever have a problem, you make them talk to me, and I'll make sure they don't say anything bad about you ever again. Just, kids can be rude sometimes, you know?
Surprisingly touching.
Sold. I don't know what the other big word is, but all I know is I'll also teach you how to fight when we're out here. So if kids do start running their mouths, you'll be able to fight back as well. But hey,
Hold up her gun in response to that.
and I love your gun. In fact, I think there should be more guns. In fact, when we get back, I may try to figure out a way to open up a gun store and start selling guns to everyone. And maybe we should make, a rule, that everyone should be allowed to have guns whenever they want. I don't think anything can go wrong with that rule. Agreed. Oh, I know that word too. This has been great talk. I enjoy the time. All right, we can let. That's all I wanted to do. I'm good.
Okay. Your watch passes uneventfully.
Cool.
You go to sleep.
Yep.
Your second watch is Sherbin and Sid.
It'll come a little closer to the fire and just kind of leaf through his book during this.
Sherman will pull out her astroglobe and start prepping for the next day.
You pulled out your Astroglide?
Globe?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it is Sherwin.
Her globe.
Tell you took
Okay.
damage. I didn't think you did.
It's a little 11 health, and I can't remember why.
Irvin, do you know anything further about Dusk Vigil? Was there anything here that we should know about?
The last time you took damage was when you touched
Would Sherman know?
And that was like 2 sessions ago.
What was the question?
Would Sherman know about anything as far as the history of Dusk Vigil and why it seems to be abandoned?
You know that it was the jewel of Ishgard's military. It was a fort that, for a long time, protected Ishgard from, sorry to say, Aura invaders. And this served as a military academy and training ground, as well as a defensive outpost. In the days when Kurthis was still green and not frozen over, the entire area would be patrolled by Ishgardian soldiers. Stationed here, more or less.
Well, Sid, that's a very good question. As far as I know, Dusk Vigil, it has a very good history.
Is it just me or is no one here?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Sid, very good question. As far as I know, as far as I can remember, Dusk Vigil, it was considered very important to Ishgard. It was pretty much the jewel of Ishgard's military forces. It helped protect them against the Aura invaders. And they even had established a military academy here. And before this land was a frozen wasteland, it was green and lush and lively. And there was it flourished. It flourished here in this place. So just see it in this sort of disarray is a bit, it's a bit sombering.
What made this area fall like this?
Sherman know that?
We can roll a history check.
Okay. What disadvantages do we have?
It just means you roll twice and take the lower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until we get a full rest.
Okay. So 14.
14. Okay. At some point in Ishgard's history, specifically in Kurthis, there was a great groaning sound that came out of the earth, and then it opened up, and some kind of etheric energy just shot from the ground, completely corrupting the aether of all of Kurthis. And where it was once, a lush green, windy, rolling hills, it completely changed its weather patterns and its temperatures, and it's been frozen over like this ever since.
From what I can remember, Sid, now this is just from what I've heard, but apparently a very long time ago, something happened. No one really knows exactly what or why, but apparently the the ground split open and all of this really bad energy came out from the ground and it messed with the aether around here and it sort of set everything out of balance. What was supposed to be nice and warm became awful and cold, but on a massive scale, which is why we have things the way we do here right now. Which, now that I think about it, I wonder if that was what that guy was talking about in his letter that he left on the desk.
Seems likely. I know a thing or two about negative energy. It can definitely lead to something like this.
What do you mean?
You know
You can
how
tell me.
how a lot of my spells, a lot of my skills involve light.
Hmm.
Well, for there to be that light, there needs to be an opposite, a balance. If that
Right.
gets thrown out of if that gets thrown out of whack, things like this happen.
So, what are you saying? Are you saying that in order for you to have these light-based spells, you need to give it a bit of darkness to sort of balance it out?
It's kind of like you have a pool to pull from, and when you pull from one side too much, either it weakens or it gets a little unstable. That's probably the better way to put it.
So, are you
So,
saying you're worried that you're using too much light spells?
no. I try to keep everything as even as I can. But I guess the easiest way to put it is that there's always a price to pay when it comes to magic and
Hmm.
energy. And it may be that something happened here that threw everything out of balance. And now it's in the situation it finds itself in.
Possible. You're very mysterious, Sid. I'm very curious about you, but I appreciate you telling me about this strange relationship you have with light and darkness.
Well, I just want to be. All I wanted to be, I guess, at this point was a teacher. And it's the safest thing for me. And as long as I keep everything in balance, I think everything will be all right.
Right. Well, if you need any help with finding your balance, just let me know, and I will do the best I can to help you out, okay?
Appreciate it.
Husbands.
Computer that just logged off. We're all
It'll be Hooligan. Hooligan, my sweetheart. He's number 6. He's
Number
actually, yeah, my sixth husband, Hooligan. He's actually one of the gleaners in Old Charlian. Um, if you like, I could probably see about having you come visit Old Charlian. That's full of scholars and very learned people. You might find out some things you like there.
maybe. I mean, like I said before, I don't really have anything to go back to. So I think I'm here for a while.
All right. Well, when this is all over, remind me, and I'll see if I can get you a passage to Charlian.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Can you both roll a d20 for me?
$16.
Crooked. It fell in my chair.
That counts as a 40.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, just 4.
Let me check. Okay. The two of you hear a very loud roar in the distance. It does not appear to be near the Dusk Vigil, but it sounds very much like the behemoth that you had seen. So it's still walking around somewhere. Sherbin, you hear what kind of sounds like glass settling, if you know what I mean. I'm not really sure how to describe it. It's like the opposite of glass breaking, but sounds kind of similar.
Like the tinkling of icicles?
Kind of. There's a little viewport that's here where you can look outside if you want to.
Viewport. Sid, did you hear that?
I heard the roar.
Sounded like that behemoth. Oh, I was hoping it wouldn't follow us here. Alright, so Sherbin's gonna carefully go up to the viewport and, if she's tall enough, try to look out and see what's going on.
You're tall enough, but the viewport is... it's like crusted with snow. You'd have to like move the snow out of the way first. I'm assuming
Okay.
you do that?
Yes.
Okay, so it's cold to the touch, but you push it away, and the snow kind of just crumbles away. And it's like that big. It's not very big at all that you can look through. And you kind of stand on your tippy toes and look out, and you can see that the moat, where the lake of ice that you'd seen before, all of the cracked area, including where the giant monkey, the gorilla, fell through the ice, has frozen over again.
That makes sense.
But the interesting thing is, you see a face, like frozen into the ice. So sticking up above the ice but not moving is, you see the head of the gorilla, as if it was trying to get out and died and just floating there.
I thought you were going to say like the hand sticking out.
No, it's like its face above the water.
Oh, sweet lord. Oh, that's something to give me nightmares for the next week. Alright, so Sherbin's gonna get her on back to Sid. Like, well, we can definitely be certain that the gorilla is dead, because I can see it outside underneath the ice. But I'm wondering if the behemoth is trying to look for it?
I guess as long as it's not looking for us, that would be the plus.
Hopefully not.
I think we're safe in here for now.
Right. The fire won't attract it, will it? I mean, it's indoors.
I don't think it has any way to get in here, but I don't know much about it. Other than it's big and can throw a giant ape.
Right. Well, judging from what it did to that gorilla, I don't think a little bit of ice is going to stop it if it wants to eat it.
No, but hopefully the stone walls will.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else that you want to do this night?
Nope.
Okay. Is anyone taking a third watch, or are the rest of you just sleeping?
I mean, Sid could be up for that.
Gimbu's totally sleeping too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go back to sleep.
So Sid, just Sid. You want to do anything else during this last portion of your watch?
He's just gonna... He'll just stand at the little port area and kind of look out.
It's very cold. You're getting the wind, the biting cold of the
As much as he can without,
Alright.
just a little... to break up just staring at the walls.
Sure. And you're able to look out, and from at least moderately being indoors, it's a little bit easier to see out, especially from a height. You're a little bit above ground at the moment. And it's got an odd tranquility about it. It's a little calming. and some of your stresses from earlier seem to fade a bit. The rest of the night goes by uneventfully, and you all wake up. You may remove a point of exhaustion.
Yay.
Skill monkey status is back.
I kind of loved when you guys were all exhausted.
Well, as a rogue, it's like 90% of my job is to not suck at skills.
All that said, it is morning time.
Right. Gonna get up, get dressed, eat a ration.
Okay.
Does Kevin wake up?
No, he died.
No, Kevin died in his sleep.
Yeah, I'm up. What's up?
He didn't wake up yesterday, so didn't know if he woke up naturally this time.
That was a great sleep, huh? I feel the best rest I've had in at least 2 nights.
Well, at least we've got something under our belts to go forward on a...
Well, I think there's more of a castle that needs exploring, and hey, maybe we get lucky and we find that treasure.
Well, if there even is a treasure, they could have been sitting here for under the impression that there was a treasure and not find anything.
Maybe they weren't looking in the right places.
It could be a trap.
I feel things are always in the last place you left it, so we just got to figure out who had the treasure in the last place they left it, and then we find it.
Well, they said they were looking for the riches of a wartime fort, so if there's anything, I would say maybe we should seek an armory or a treasury.
Well, we still got that door over there, and we can start exploring that all together. I'm feeling much rested, and honestly, wouldn't be horrible to spend another night here, but let's check on the weather as well. I mean, we want to try to time this when the weather's good to make our march out. Anyway,
Maybe we could find some more potions to help us, warming potions and things like that around.
I'd be very surprised if there was anything left here of any use. I mean, from what that body said, I think if I remember correctly, they've been dead for about 164 years.
Well, I think that ore is in the Far East, Millie. I think that's what Sherbin said, correct? That Roshigani ore.
What did the sign say?
The Roshigani ore for Rowena.
is that like the paper that you use to fold up and make like little cranes, little birds off of? How do you do that with rocks? That seems hard.
In case the player is forgetting, I'll tell you out of character, Rowena did indeed say that the Far East is where Oroshigani ingots come from.
But exactly, that's where they come from. It's not where they end up.
That is correct.
If everyone got something to eat, I say we go on exploring. Let's do this together now that we're all rested.
We'll give you some jerky if you want. Instead of
Yeah, I have some jerky. I also have some rations. Unfortunately, we're all out of trail mix. I mean, I would have been loving to get that, but
Unfortunately.
yeah. Well, then if you're all rested and good to go, follow me. We'll head off through this door.
chili did.
And maybe we can light something again because it was really dark when I opened up that room.
I would be happy to. Millie, would you like me to light up your bucket again? Or if your bucket doesn't mind.
She nods her head, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like an indeterminate implication.
Yeah. I'm gonna light up your bucket. What?
you can take it good or bad, and either way, where does it end up? Are there any torches along the walls in that inner chamber with the hole in the roof?
No. There are sconces.
Okay. Or yeah, sorry, sconces or
There's no wood in the sconces, no torches.
not
left
wood,
over.
like a sconce post, I guess, like a light post, but
No, it's metal built into the wall.
The wall, yeah.
Okay.
Wall sconces.
Thank you.
But seeing that Mr. Bucket has some degree of autonomy, now that he's lit up, she's just gonna let him follow. She's not gonna hold him.
Regina used to make a delicious blueberry scones. I'd love eating that every morning. Anyway, let's not talk about home. It makes me feel homesick. Let's head to the store.
I'm just picturing in my head like Rowena uses blueberry wood or something like that and makes a sconce out of it, and Kevin takes his food and eats it.
Yeah, I'm picturing that fancy chocolatier competition show where they can like make something that looks real but is
Out of
actually chocolate,
yeah.
and it is a blueberry chocolate sconce.
Yeah. Is it real or is it a cake? Oh no! Yeah.
So we'll unbarricade whatever we did to barricade the door, which was not much, and I'll open the door and.
No, you can't do anything because there are no doors into.
Oh, that's right.
into
That's right.
The
So
vertical room.
just reopen the door and then start walking through.
Kevin
Exploring.
pulls on the door, and you guys
Well,
walk downstairs.
The side hallway.
Yeah. So I'll get my sounding sentry and then I'll like charge it for next time.
That's so cool.
Solid
So
utility.
you're going into the room where you found the letter, and Kevin kicked the desk.
Oh, that's where that room had the offshoot?
Yeah.
That had the door.
Oh, my bad. I thought that was a second door from the main chamber.
No.
Okay.
And we used some of that desk wood to make a nice fire. Now we were all warm. You're welcome.
When you open the door, there is some light on the other side now where there wasn't yesterday.
Oh, hey! There's light now.
No.
Although it's still hard to see.
The light. This breaks off into two pathways, and they're relatively straight lines. But away from the door, you move out a little bit, and then in a V shape, hallways move out. The left pathway has some light coming from it. The right does not.
And based on... Okay, so we came in this way. Why is not gripping the chalk?
That's what she said.
We found the room with the hole in it.
It's a
Spiral
square room,
staircase.
but yes.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Doesn't matter.
Spiral staircases.
It's a pig. You give it a tail.
2 tails.
Yeah.
Then
It's
we
a new tail
had
pig.
small room
Yes.
with a desk, and then where was the door? What direction was the door?
Same direction.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then
It's like
Opposite, yeah.
it looks like it's a processing room kind of thing.
we're looking at.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Correct.
Okay. So that's-
Kevin heads down the right. All the way with less light.
Okay.
Yeah. If I was treasure, that's where I'd be, Kevin.
That's what I was thinking, right? You want to go in places that are darker.
That's right. Otherwise, you'd be found, right?
Exactly. I see. Yeah, this is why I always liked you. You just get me. You know.
Yeah, I know. You don't like us thinking too much, but once in a while we have something good to say.
I agree. You always have good things to say, DX.
Wow, I just got that.
Yep.
Well, I'm just parroting what he said previously.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yikes. Okay. So, you go down the right path. There is a sign on the wall as you're walking down this path for those who can see in the dark. Plus,
Oh, yeah,
you've got
this-
the bucket following you, which is shedding light. But it's following you specifically. It's not walking
Yeah.
ahead of you. So.
No, she's keeping towards the front so that the light then is more or less central to the
Sure. And it kind of shines outwards.
Yeah.
But the sign on the
Refraction.
wall says barracks, or West Barracks, rather. Further down the hall, still in darkness, you see that there are rooms that it shoots off into. On either side, there are a few rooms.
Seems to be where the soldiers would have stayed. I would imagine it would be mainly equipment, but I guess it couldn't hurt. I do have a bag of holding, and we can definitely hold some stuff.
There are multiple rooms off this corridor.
There's at least 2 that you see from where you are. And then you can see 120 feet. So you see a room on either side, about 30 foams ahead of you. Okay? And then about another 30 foams past that, there is a room on the left side, not on the right. And then directly past that, you see a door. A shut door, I should say.
This truck is really messing up.
Speak to its manager.
I guess we'll take them one at a time.
Yeah.
There's no sense in splitting up. We don't really know if anything is still lurking around in here.
Now, so these rooms that are on the left and right, are they open doorways or are they enclosed rooms? Or like doored off rooms?
They are not doored off. They are open rooms.
Okay. Yeah, then Millie will take with Mr. Bucket following, will lead the way into the room on the left. The first room on the left.
Okay. The room is spacious. It's wide open. Catty-corner, the walls are curved, like rounded, and then there's pointed walls. It looks like an artistic choice in the architecture. So the 2 pointed corners catty-corner to each other, and then 2 rounded corners catty-corner to each other. It's kind of weird design.
Kind of like a double teardrop. Like you had a teardrop pointing up and a teardrop pointing down.
Maybe. What you do notice about it is there are beds lining the walls.
Could have slept in beds.
They're bunk beds. They still appear to be in working order. Old but not destroyed. They probably would not collapse on top of each other if you laid in them.
Unless Kevin was in the top bunk.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Be like, one on Kevin on the top, and then bam.
I'm a big guy. It would happen.
Kevin would definitely be a top bunk guy.
Against the wall, there's chamber pots set there. One of them appears to have not been emptied. The other 2 have been. But whatever was in there is long since
Frozen,
frozen, dried, yeah, etc. Yes, I was picturing Step Brothers. Thank you. Why would you
Was it
let
the
us
white dog
do that?
poop? Oh, then never mind.
No, that's Anchorman. You will eat that. Oh no, that was Step
It was Step Brothers. Yeah. I didn't see
Anchorman,
it. So.
you'll eat that cat poop. It's front arm.
Eat that cat poop.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Anyway, the beds do appear to be in good working order. You don't see anyone in here necessarily. It is still rather dark, even with your dark vision. Like you can see the grayscale, and then the light sheds out 30 feet worth.
It's a torch worth, so
Yeah.
30 bright, 60 dim.
Right. So you're able to see your way around.
Any footlockers? Or wall lockers?
There are footlockers next to each of the bunks. Sid, you're a little bit more perceptive than the others. You spot a bit of parchment underneath one of the beds. It doesn't look like it was hidden there. It looks like it fell there.
Go take a look.
Okay. You gotta. It's stuck on something if you try to pull it. Probably
Okay.
frozen to the ground.
Yeah, I'll try to pull it.
Okay. It's got a little bit of resistance.
Of course it
Probably
does.
stuck in something.
Oh. Keep pulling.
Okay. You pull a little bit harder, and with the parchment, which miraculously does not break, comes a skeletal arm.
At this rate, I'm just gonna create a new body, apparently.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, oh, he almost has a full set.
Next level in wizard necromancer.
Nice.
I kind of carefully try to pry it off of the hand.
Okay. The hand just kind of falls to the ground at this point, having been removed from whatever was under the bed. And you find another letter. This one appeared. Let me see. I will read it to you. The engineers are still surveying the damage, but anyone with eyes can tell that the Dusk Vigil is beyond repair. Some walls are hardly fit to be called as such, piles of crumbling masonry as they are. The officers have been pleading with Sir Uhelmeric, asking him to order a withdrawal. He knows our position is untenable, yet he refuses. We will hold it to the last, for we are the shields on the wall, the defenders of the Holy See, he says. He is a brave, pious man, less so we who serve under him. The message ends.
Looks like these guys knew what they were in for at the end.
Did you read the letter out loud, or?
No, but they apparently this Dusk Vigil was in disrepair for a while, and they were told to stay here by their commanding officer and hold it against something. And it's some dark force, like it's been suggested. It doesn't look like they did very well, unfortunately.
I mean, I'm very torn, Sid. I mean, I'm all about supporting the troops, but then again, you shouldn't listen to the government. So, I don't know. I don't know if they made the right decision.
And I think it's clear to see what happened with their decision.
What?
They failed, Kevin. I would call this a pretty catastrophic failure.
That doesn't sound very good at all.
No, but I guess we should just be on our guard and hope that whatever was the last blow to this place is long past.
Millie, did you search the beds? Anything in those beds?
We're about done.
Okay. Well,
Millie, did you search those beds? Anything in those beds?
She's gonna look in the foot lockers.
Okay.
Not the beds, but
Sure.
unless she sees shapes in the beds, but
There's no shapes in the beds. They appear empty.
Did the beds look like they had been left neatly made?
No. They were. The linens are still on them, and blanket. I guess I was gonna say comforter, but not really comforter. So they're still there, but not neatly made. It's just kind of like on the bed.
I'm gonna take a blanket and a linen and put it in my bag.
Sure. You now have bed linen and blanket.
Nice.
Several of the footlockers are open, and inside there's really nothing of note. Looks like there's a charcoal picture of a woman and child in one of the footlockers. Beyond that, not really much. You see what appears to be tobacco, like
ancient.
yeah, ancient tobacco. Most of the other footlockers are much the same, pretty empty. But there's one footlocker that has a lock on it.
I'll take the charcoal picture. Just
Okay. I hope you draw that.
It's stick figures.
It's an Ellison woman. It's an Ellison woman and probably a 4-year-old. Just FYI, in case you want that.
Mhm.
in good shape does that lock look?
It looks sturdy.
Okay, so like a padlock?
Yeah. Like, you can probably pick it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go for that.
Sure. Go ahead. This would be lock picking, so with
These
these
tools.
tools. Yeah. So.
27.
Yeah.
Not disadvantage this time!
You're holding. If you talked, you could hold a conversation while you're doing this. But easily,
Mouth and word.
you easily unlock the padlock.
Does it look like it's a good quality padlock?
As in reusable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll pocket it.
I mean, it's very clearly old, but usable. Probably needs a little bit of oil.
Oh, I got some of that.
Okay, padlock removed.
Now, the bed that this is in front of, is it another bunk bed? Or is it...
another bunk bed?
Okay, so it's, apart from the lock, visually indistinguishable from all the other beds and footlocker situations? I'm trying to get it.
It's
Does it look
indistinguishable.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like, oh, this is clearly the officer's bed with the officer's box.
No. This would not be. The officers would not sleep in the same barracks as the others.
She would.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but
I mean, yeah, I know that. She wouldn't know that.
Phew, I'm glad that I'm getting it right.
Yeah, unless that officer did some real messed up stuff and was banished. She's going to look for any traps, considering she already faced one at the drawbridge.
Sure. Investigation. You don't have to do it with disadvantage this time.
No, more than that. 15.
15? As far as you can tell, there's no traps. It just looks like it was, from your investigation, it was closed in a hurry, is all it looks like, and then locked.
She'll open it up and see what's inside.
Okay. You open it up, and you are greeted by a skeletal face, like a skull, just staring at you. A body has been crammed in here. And when I say crammed, I mean there's no way a living person would fit in this. A body has been crammed in here, and like a smushed face is just staring up at you. The rest of the bones are just kind of like broken, crooked, sticking out everywhere.
Are there scratch marks on top of the locker?
Yes.
It's a boo box. Oh my god.
Not the boo box. Not the boo box.
What's a boo box?
Some book.
Not in a billion years.
They take somebody, they shove them in a box, they lock the box, they open a hole at the top of the box and drop in scorpions.
Oh, that's terrible.
That was Glenn Close.
That was Glenn Close.
That was crazy. Great makeup.
Man, okay, so...
That was Glenn Close? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was Glenn Close. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I never knew that.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
she was the boo box booty. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, the booty. Nice.
How, does the corpse in here look as aged or more aged than the ones we saw in the murder hole?
Indistinguishable.
So like the same age, or are you indeterminate? Like I can't tell.
Indeterminate.
Okay.
No way I would ever know that had you not said anything. Ever.
Does this person appear to be wearing a uniform?
Same as the. You didn't find any other soldiers.
No.
No. Yes, it is wearing a uniform.
Okay.
I was gonna say same as the other soldiers you found. Then I realized, wait, those weren't soldiers.
So she'll let everybody know, and then try to look for some kind of rank insignia.
Okay. If there is one, you can't find it. Or whatever it is, it's not something that you're aware of denoting.
With all the other open boxes.
What was that?
Is the person like the only thing in the box?
Are you gonna remove it from the box to look?
Yeah, I'll dump them out.
The footlocker is stuck to the floor.
Oh, okay, it's not sitting. Then yeah, she'll take the skull.
Or rather, it's stuck to the bed, not the floor. But
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like a bedpost or foot of the bed kind of thing.
Correct.
So she'll take the skull and put that on one side in case Sid wants it, and then just start taking the rest of the stuff out.
Yeah, because this guy has a story.
Sure.
Yeah, he definitely has a story.
You unlock the box, or you unload the box, and there was nothing else inside aside from this poor individual. Kevin, you started to say something. What was
Yeah,
it?
I'm gonna start all the open boxes. I'm gonna try break through the bottoms of the boxes by stepping through them. He's trying to see if there's any false bottoms to any of the footlockers.
So the way you do it is by stepping on them?
Yeah, like stomping, like hole through the bottom.
Sure. You stomp on them, and none of them have false bottoms. And you're not really able to break it easily because it's flat on the floor.
Okay, he learned something. All right, check. There's no false bottoms on any of these boxes.
That's excellent, Kevin.
Did we check any of those non-foot lockers, by the way? The regular lockers?
Can I check under the mattresses?
Oh, a good thinking. They like to hide food and such under the mattresses.
Well, I mean, we have been finding little notes here and there. Someone might have talked to Box Guy.
We can. If you'd like.
Well, it's up to you, Sid. I mean, you're the only one of us, as far as I know, who could do it. But it did seem to tax you a bit.
Yeah, well, I don't typically like tapping into that side of things, but if you think it might be valuable to give us some context, you
Well,
would have a story.
you could, and this is very crass, I apologize, but you could take the head with you, and later on you could decide whether or not you want to talk to it.
Yeah, I'll happily put that skull in my bag.
That's the only question you need to ask.
I'll pick up the skull and put it in my bag,
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
just in case you want to talk to it later. I mean,
Yeah, let's check out the rest of these barracks and
Okay. Kevin, you're picking up the skull.
yeah,
Roll a perception check.
yeah. So I have to find it. I think it's Dex, right? 0.
no, it was
Oh, wisdom? -1.
even better.
Oh, no, actually, I think my wisdom. No, I added 1 to my wisdom, so it's not negative.
Okay.
D20. 6.
Okay. I thought you said you got a -1. I'm like, the fuck?
Possible.
Yeah. She rolled a 1 and has like a -2.
I'm sorry, clarification on the layout. So when you said there was a left room and a right room, and then further down a left room and a straight room, that is on the right path?
The path that you're on, correct?
Okay, so yeah, okay, that's making sure.
Yeah, it's the correct path. All right. Kevin, you feel you've got kind of an itch. You're not really paying attention, but you were just talking to Sherbin and Sid. Sid, you're pretty observant. Sherbin as well. You notice that there's a couple of drops of blood coming off of Kevin's hand.
Steven, did you cut yourself?
I look at the hand without the skull. No, everything looks fine.
I love Kevin.
No, the other hand, Kevin.
I look at the hand where I'm holding the skull. Where do I see blood?
The skull is holding you. It's bit into your hand.
Oh,
Now that you're looking at it, you start to feel the pain.
oh shoot! Are these things supposed to be doing that?
Here. Yeah. So he went to pick up the skull, the mouth bites him right here, basically, is the way I see it.
I look at the footlocker.
I don't think this is very normal. Anyone else? I'm just holding my hand up in the air with the
Sherman
skull.
just screams.
Looking at the footlocker, Millie had pulled out all of the bones and set them next to the locker. So the locker's empty, but the bones seem to be moving together and forming a skeleton. Like an assembled skeleton, I should say. Not just that, you now hear kind of sound coming from all around you. Like down the hall, the other rooms. There's something coming. Which I thought we might get to tonight, but we'll get to it next week. I
Oh my
even put
God.
together the entire battle map, but yeah.
For reference, if since Millie was by the box, she would absolutely just see the things moving and just slowly be pulling them back to stop it. Just we were like, oh, it's going for the light. Grab its other one. Ignoring because she doesn't know the thing's in his hand. Just
Sure. I mean, you see Mr. Bucket following you. It follows that this.
yeah, it's inherent. Like they never fought skeletons in Cliffside, so she's just like, this is weird.
At some point, the slowly becomes quickly reassembling itself. Yeah. Anyway,
That's
we'll
funny.
get to that next week. But good session, everybody. That was a lot of information.
Nicely done.
Yep.
Good job, everyone. If you're watching online, leave us a comment in case the video quality was better.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, please. To this unlisted
Like it,
video
Bo.
on my weekend. All right, that's it. Thanks for coming, everybody.
See
Thanks for
y'all.
the game, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Night.
Night.
I need to have Lena draw me a chibi Mr. Bucket.